The first guy, Greg, I really dislike this person. It is the guy called Cato the Younger. He is someone who is truly descended from his father, Cato the Elder. Sorry, grandfather, Cato the Elder. Had a personal vendetta with Caesar because his half sister was Caesar's biggest lover.
Caesar runs
Yeah,
in the face of him. Yeah,
Caesar was pretty well known for being a womanizer, playing loosely with the rules, which no doubt,
loose robes.
you know, he managed to keep the treasury away from corruption and prosecuted a number of clerks for misusing the funds because no one before him uh, did a did anything about it.
Before you jump into Cato, maybe do you want me to explain his background, like who he was? 'Cause I don't, if the audience doesn't know,
Yeah, I think that'll be
he's not
good.
a normal person. He would be considered abnormal for he was considered abnormal for his day. But Cato the Younger, or his actual name was Cato Eutenesis, was a prominent, very very prominent Roman politician and statesman who was coming about at the same time as Julius Caesar.
Can I just
And
call him the king of filibuster?
yes, he absolutely was the greatest filibuster of probably all time. He was defined by his staunch republicanism. He believed in a set of virtues that existed hundreds of years before the time he's living. So he basically pretended he was this staunch ancient person who lived by virtues that no one lived by anymore. And that was his entire shtick, as you would say. So he lived by these principles that just no one lived by anymore. And he opposed corruption at like that was his go-to. Anything that was new, he would attack. Any corruption, he would attack. He really saw himself as this champion of an older republic. From early on, he positioned himself as a defender of mos maiorum, the ancient customs of the Senate. He championed traditional virtues, frugality, and discipline, presented himself as a counterweight to luxury, wealth accumulation, and the populist movement, which that's Julius Caesar in a nutshell, all of that.
Someone like him who tended to stand on such virtues in the completely broken down times of the late Roman Republic honestly would not have had success, but since the senatorial elite had been destroyed right through Sulla and Marius' civil war, he was able to get to the top. And
People living in his time would agree that there was like a sense of doom with the Senate, like that Rome was kind of falling apart from its old
yeah,
virtues, we'll say.
the only thing is Cicero was pragmatic enough to know when to stand on morals and when to try to take a pragmatic solution.
Well, Cicero was a politician. Cato actually believed in the juice he was drinking. Like that was the difference between them. Cato
But
legitimately believed this shit. And just to end off his little career, what made him famous, you already alluded to, he was the master of the filibuster. So because he championed a lot of things that didn't want to see change. He wanted to bring Rome back. Let's say if you rewind time, if you want to call it that. He, if anyone tried to like make some reforms, he would just go up and filibuster until like nothing was done. So he was a hurdle to any kind of change in the Senate, really. And yeah, made him
and
quite
I
famous.
think I used to think that this guy he was a great politician, but then I realized, okay, the guy just filibusters.
He lives. He. It's people just respected him simply because he lived this old virtuous lifestyle, and everyone was like, "Oh wow, like it's incredible that he would basically he's like a monk." That's the way that they would look at him. He's this virtuous
True.
monk like guy.
And he's gonna be the biggest opponent for Caesar.